Hey there, friends. Dan the Wolfman here and Pew Reviews, and I got a battle of the budget blasters today. We're talking about the company's Taurus versus Kahr Arms. Taurus, that you're all familiar with. Some of you are not familiar with Kahr Arms. They were the original lightweight, very thin, concealed carry pistols before most of the states offered CCW carry permits. So this was carried by a lot of NYPD detectives off duty and undercovers and things of that nature. We got the Taurus G3, clear weapon other than my Mantis X laser trainer cartridge. I can verify that that is what is there. Ooh, it shoots lasers inside the very popular budget option, the Taurus G3c. Over here in this corner, we got the Kahr Arms CW45. We're going to talk about the 45. We're going to talk about the very similar CW9 millimeter. So very similar, almost identical. This is just slightly thicker, slightly longer barrel, and that's about it. These are both great budget options. As of making this right now, the prices on these dropped from $300, $320 during Ammogaden the last year to now the $230 to $280 range. If you go on gun.deals, you could find the great Taurus G3c for just $230, and then you'd have to pay your transfer fees, but maybe you can get it that low in the upcoming Black Friday holiday-ish type deals. The Kahr, on the other hand, was about $340, $350 for the CW45, but I just found the CW9 with a front night sight, the version with a front night sight, for just $299, which is quite a steal. Makes me actually want to get one just because of that front night sight. Most versions just have typical white dots. This one I painted with some orange nail polish to help these old eyes out. But you can now get the 9mm version with an N at the back of the code, meaning night sight. Just the front. I think it's a Meprolite green night sight. 9mm versus 45, that's an ancient debate. You could look at my very popular 9mm versus 45 series for that, y'all. And the Taurus G3c comes with three 12mm, that'd be cool, three 12-round magazines. The Kahr, unfortunately, the budget series of the Kahr is the CW series, CW45, CW9, CW380, the 40s, I believe they stopped making. The Kahrs, unfortunately, only come with one magazine. In the CW45, this is a 6-round magazine. You're like, oh no. And in the CW 9mm, CW is the mid-size. There's the CM, the small, like pocket size. There's the CT, the like full size, which would be more like, outside the waistband or open type carry, ranch carry. And the mid-size, nice for carry, is the CW size. 6+1 in 45 or 7+1 in 9mm. Unfortunately, only one mag. However, in the 45 versions, in the 9mm version, you can get the +1, the bigger mag sticking out the bottom for the slightly bigger size pistol. And there is a company that makes a pretty reliable, I believe, +1 base. So in 45, this is 6+1, or is it really 7+1, or is it really 8+1 if you know some magazine magic like I do? And the 9mm could be +1 of that. Instead of 7+1, you could use the Kahr 8-round magazine for 8+1, and you can put a +1 base plate on that to make it a fairly respectable 9+1. In general, in my self-defense way I feel with everything I've ever studied, I like a minimum of 10+1 in 9mm and a minimum of at least 8+1 of 45. That's why I got this pistol, because I did some research and I knew I could take an ACT Act mag, do a little bit of shaving down here if you see that corner, and make this function perfectly fine 8+1, other than sometimes no slide lock back. But that's okay. I got 9 rounds of 45 in gun, and I like at least 11 rounds, 10+1 and 9mm. I much prefer having 10+1 of 45 or 12+1 and 9mm. 12+1, I've always said that, 12+1 being here in the Taurus G3c, Comes with 3 mags. That's awesome. Not the G3c, the better trigger, metal sights, GLOCK compatible sights. You can get night sights directly off of Taurus's website fairly cheap, or many other manufacturers. Excess Sights, my favorite, has a plain Jane front night sight you could put on these with a very similar black serrated rear. So that's an option, and you can also get the 15 or 17 round G3 magazines that fit fine as long as you don't slam them home too hard, or with off their website with a grip adapter already, like a grip sleeve on the magazine sleeve. So 9mm versus 9mm, and my 9mm is 45. The Kahr is a little light on the ammo capacity as far as 9mm is concerned, but it's a very lightweight pistol. In 9mm, it's like 15.5 ounces plus 2 for the magazine, because that's unfortunately how they do their weights. And in 45, I think total with the magazine, this is about 21.7 ounces, maybe more with the longer magazines in it, the way that I used to carry it. Both happen to be the safer, longer travel for a new shooter. I do have a video I've already filmed trying to get people information on what pistols and revolvers, why they are safer compared to others. And that's because both of these have long trigger strokes. Light, but long trigger strokes. This is a very rare double action only striker fired pistol. So every shot is the same, just like a typical striker-fired weapon. The Taurus has long take-up. Long take-up. It's light. You hit that wall. Nice break. It even has restrike capability, which most striker-fired pistols do not. And it is, but it's the take-up that does make this a bit safer for newer shooters. So, given the value, I think both are very good options. Now, the Kahrs, especially with their 9mm, you know, you got micro compacts now that are doing a lot more rounds, and it's too bad if Kahr doesn't catch up and go, oh, maybe we should get with a magazine supplier like Kahr and figure out how to make this just 0.1 thicker and get almost double the ammo capacity for the 9mm versions. For the 45, I like that big old hunk of ball. Being able to be either 7+1 with an ACT magazine, no modification, 8+1 with an ACT magazine with some modification, or 8-round, or I believe 7-round shooting star, old style shooting star. It's not, I didn't even find this out on Kahr's website, their huge thread they had going on for the last 10 years about the ACT magazines, but the Shooting Star, Shooting 8, or whatever, CM Star, Shooting 8, whatever these magazines are called, I think I got it from Brownells, works just perfectly fine. The 8-rounder, and I believe the 7-rounder probably does as well. So either one I think is a good option, especially for a newer shooter or for budget needs. Both are in the kind of budget category of 230 to 300, 350 range. And both are honestly worth it if you can get them for, under $350. I happen to like the looks of the slide, the beveled end, the very nice machining of the slides of Kahr. I like this trigger because it has a very nice break. I happen to also really love the pointability, and I really like the trigger. Shoots lasers, not only with my laser cartridge, of the Taurus G3c. So if you're looking for a budget option that is mostly for carry / maybe home defense, I think it would be a good thing to look at Taurus and look at Kahr. And if you really want to know about the 9mm versus 45 debate, I've got all the actual science, unlike everybody else. I did the actual tissue crush science, 62% more than this one, and then hollow points 1.5 to 2.1-ish, depending on which hollow point, in the same type of hollow points. But 9mm is easier for everyone to shoot and cheaper. So especially for newer shooters, stick with the 9. If you're experienced, you know why you might want this big old bad boy. Anyway, there is the Taurus versus Kahr, or Taurus G3c versus Kahr CW45/CW9. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please thumbs up, share, subscribe. Get in the comments. Have you had experience with Taurus in the last 3 years or 4 years when their quality control's gotten a lot better? Do you have experience with Kahr? Do you like their triggers? What do you think of these companies? Let me know. Thanks, everybody. Stay safe out there.